It's a Beamer.
Is it a manual?
Super sexy if a guy knows how to drive stick.
Welcome to Retro Cars Forever. My name is Brad, and thank you for joining us for episode 7 of this 10-part series. For this social experiment, I've gathered 10 single women, 10 single guys, and their 10 different cars. Our panel of single ladies are going to react and rank all the cars based on how likely they'd want to date the owners, just based on their vehicles. Here are the results so far. The Jeep Wrangler remains in the lead, with the Normcore Civic from the last episode coming up right behind in second. Surprising results from the women so far, but hey, that's why I made this test. But right now, let's get to know today's challenger and the owner.
My name is Steven. I'm a project engineer and I drive a 2000 BMW M5. It's understated and it's fast, and I really like that about it because it's very under the radar. It's very comfortable. It's got a little bit of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality where you can drive around like a grandpa or you can go crazy and act like an animal. How can you not like that?
Alright, now as a reminder, that clip of the owner was just for you viewers. The women did not get to see that clip, they only got to see the car itself. So, how did it do? Let's find out.
Ooh, a BMW.
Yes.
Kind of fancy, of course.
BMW, I don't know what kind, but if you don't know what those propellers are, then you've been sleeping your whole life.
Oh, it's an M5.
I feel like this is almost like a collector's one. Like people seek out this particular type.
I've always found their grille looking like 2 front teeth, just like a sweet little bucktooth child.
Ugh, that's unfortunate. Kind of has that blah sedan exterior.
It's a stern looking car.
I think the shape of it feels like it's sturdy. Beamers are just so thick.
I think black is a very sexy color, very manly color. But from the outside, it's boring. Looks like my Honda Civic.
But then you notice the 4 tailpipes. And this is not a blah sedan.
Ooh, and it's got a sound. I prefer a car that makes a little noise.
It's surprisingly quiet on startup. There it is.
Yeah, I like that car.
Do BMWs normally sound like that?
This one has an aftermarket exhaust, but it's very similar to the stock exhaust.
It does sound more like a sporty car, more like the Corvette.
I am so triggered by the way this car sounds because that is just the people who go down my street at 3 a.m. So if you'd caught me 2 years ago, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's a cool, sexy sounding engine. Now I'm like, I hate it. I'm mad about it.
I don't really care about the sound of the car as long as it's operate.
I don't understand at all what that sound is supposed to mean to me.
It reminds me of the Mustang as far as like, oh, there's pep and power in this. But whereas the Mustang is the loud American, the BMW is the suave, classier version who is just as powerful.
That's not an annoying vroom vroom. It's like a classy, like vroom, vroom.
If this goes vroom, vroom, what does the Mustang sound like?
The Mustang just sounds like it's yelling at me. I can't handle it. Oh, the inside's so beautiful.
I do like the wood on the interior. It feels very vintage.
Between the wood trim and the black leather, it is very dated.
I know it's a little older, but I love this car. It looks cozy.
Is it a manual?
I didn't realize they were stick shifts too. I guess I usually just see it in smaller sport cars and farm trucks and Jeep Wranglers.
Like, this is not a 2-door. Why is it manual?
I think people probably enjoy driving stick more because they have control and they have more control of the car.
Men, they just like to feel like macho with this thing, like changing gears so fast.
Obviously wants to feel like they're driving a race car.
This is for people that appreciate driving a car because of the mechanics behind it.
I do know how to drive a stick. Once you drive a stick, it's kind of hard to go back to automatic, and if nothing else, you just feel like there's nothing to do with your hands and feet anymore. You're a little bored.
Do you think it's attractive if a guy knows how to drive a stick shift car?
I do, because that person has taken time and effort to practice something that they don't have to. It also takes a certain type of intelligence.
Oh, I appreciate it because, yeah, if you can drive stick, you can drive anything.
It's a cool skill to have, and I don't know what it is, but there is something sexy about it.
Because if he can drive a stick, then he knows how to drive some other things. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what M stands for.
Motor, the Motor 5. Is that a Motor 5 car?
So the M in M5 essentially stands for motorsport. The
I was halfway there.
The M5 is the super sporty version of that car.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't look very sporty to me.
So would you believe me if I told you that this M5 is just as fast as that Corvette that we saw earlier?
It's very hard from appearance to believe that.
Would you rather have something that's more kind of bright and flashy like the Corvette, or would you rather have something that's a little more subdued like this BMW? Which do you prefer?
I do like how low-key this BMW is. You would be definitely less likely to pull this car over.
I would prefer the Corvette. This to me is very boring.
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel like if you're gonna go fast, you might as well be flashy with it.
I prefer subtlety.
I think that it's way more sexy in a car and a man when they don't have to talk about what they have, they just have it.
I think the Transporter drives something more like this. A wolf in sheep's clothing. If you don't need to show off, you know what you got, then the Beamer's just right.
I've heard various stereotypes about BMW owners, obnoxious drivers.
I've been cut off more on the road by Beamers than me in the car.
I feel like there have been many occasions in which somebody zooms past me and go, ugh, f***ing BMW.
That's my next car, is I want a BMW actually. Like, I like BMWs. I feel like they're fancy and they're nice, and I feel like maybe it appeals to younger people as opposed to like Mercedes or Rolls Royce.
Like, it's definitely the Pierce Brosnan Bond car. Cool in a very suave way.
I'm not a prestige brand person. It's not my energy. I wouldn't foresee myself lining up energetically well with somebody who was like, yes, I have got a BMW. This is my Beamer. Do people still call them Beamers? It's so dorky. Babe, come take a ride in my Beamer. Can I show you my Beamer?
Tall, preppy, have a job.
This person does well in their work career.
Silently confident dude that knows his level of success and doesn't need to show it off to you. That's this dude.
I would like to think that the man who drives this BMW is like the car itself. Maybe a little unassuming on first glance, but actually a little bit crazy underneath.
This is someone who knows to look below the surface.
Probably actually someone I might like. They like a vehicle that has power. They want to be connected to their vehicle. So they're probably not a lackadaisical person in their life, want to live in the moment. And then doesn't need to be overly flashy. Or maybe it's like a hand-me-down from their dad.
On to the rankings. After checking out all 10 cars and having no clue who the owners were, the women were asked, which car owner would you be the most interested in dating? They then ranked all the cars in order of their preference from first place to 10th. Here's how they each ranked this car.
The BMW M5 actually ended up being my top choice. I'm a bougie bitch, so I really kind of need someone who can answer to that finer quality of life, and I feel like that guy has it.
Overall, I think this car is great. I support it.
I do like how low-key this BMW is, but it is very dated.
If it had just a titch more flair to the outside, I think this would be a really cool car.
I don't like to be flashy. Choose BMW. It's more classy.
I think they are very aesthetically pleasing, but that's not my thing.
The BMW M5 ranks number 9 because it is a conscious choice to have a BMW, but not just any BMW. That one, that is also very loud. I would be afraid that person would talk about that they own a BMW a lot.
I feel like the people who drive BMWs are the kind of people who are impressed by the fact that they drive a BMW and impressed by other people who drive BMWs. And that's not so much my vibe.
The Beamer came in at number 9. The Beamer is the kind of car that's cut me off the most. I guess I have that association with it. I mean, sure, if I was in the Beamer, I was the shark instead of the fish, but normally I'm a fish, and I've just been bit by the shark too many times.
BMW M5 is my number one because it is so solid in its structure, a little bit higher class, and it is not trying to prove how fast it is. One, can I have it? And two, can I get some stick shift lessons from you, please?
So how did the BMW measure up? Average all the women's rankings and you get a solid average ranking of 4.9. Out of the 7 cars we've covered so far, that's good enough for 3rd place, just barely missing that Honda Civic for 2nd. Yeah, I hear ya. How could one of the best BMWs ever made get beaten by a Honda Civic? Well, here's a link to the Civic episode, just watch it. It's pretty eye-opening, especially if you're a car enthusiast. In any case, those rankings are gonna change because we have 3 more cars to go. Next up, representing the red-hot crossover segment, is this Mazda CX-5. Will its blend of practicality, safety, and luxury make it the new leader? Well, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you can find out in the next episode. If you'd like to see more of this series, all available episodes are in this playlist link. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and leave a comment below. I love hearing your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.